It zooms when it want to. Let's see. Oh, there it goes. Now y'all up in my face. The lighting is horrible. But you're not here to see me. You're here to see me draw. What it is, you guys. It is your girl, Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the drama like person. Like, I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice. Open. Girl, because you got to hold your breath for justice. To see justice before all face to blank. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, guys, I'm coming through today. What is it? Is it the 19th? It is. It's February the 19th, 2026. We're going to rush because we're about to go pick up the kids and I'm going to take them out or whatever because they've been gone for 3 days. You know, my daughter's in clinicals. So they go and spend the night with their great grandmother, and it gives my daughter a break to study, to whatever she has to do. So before we go pick up the babies, and then there's no time whatsoever to pick up this pencil, or however you want to say it, depending on where you're from, girl. I'm gonna go ahead and let's get started. So we're gonna listen to a few videos about Miss Tyra Peterson. I'm sorry, not Peterson. Let's see. Yeah, her name is Tyra Peterson. Patterson. I'm so sorry. No disrespect. I'm just learning about your story. So it's Tyra Patterson. She was wrongfully incarcerated. I just came across this story, though she, I believe, was exonerated and released in 2017. I'm just coming across her story. Like I say, if you research wrongful convictions, you could cover them every single day. That's why I really don't have no excuse. I should be doing this every day. And you still could not cover everybody that is wrongfully incarcerated story. Yet, we all still seem to think that wrongful convictions couldn't have happened to my husband because they don't happen at all. But that they don't happen like as much as it really does happen. Like, please open up your eyes, guys. This is why we need to care because the next story I could be covering could be your one or yours, right? Okay, so we're gonna finish drawing Mr. 1250 podcast. Hopefully we can finish in a setting, but not sure because it depends on how long, how many interruptions, because it's very hard for me to do my content without being constantly interrupted. Let's first, I almost forgot, turn that ringer off. I think you still will hear it buzz if it vibrates. Hopefully there are no interruptions, but let's go. Let's listen to some content. Let's listen to her story. Okay, Tyra Patterson served 23 years for a crime she did not commit. Are you able to give up 23 years of your life, girl? Okay, here we go. Especially for something you didn't do. Because it's going to take you about that long to get out. The year is 1994.
Teenage sisters Holly and Michelle Lay
Let's
were
like
sitting
it.
in their car with friends.
And then I'm going to put my little signature.
18-year-old Tyra Patterson
Anytime
and her
I watch
friend
a
Becky
video.
are also in the parking lot. A small group approaches the car and tries to rob the teens. Holly calls out for help.
Okay, so this is not my video, not my content. I am just covering these videos just to get acquainted with the story of Tyra Patterson, wrongful incarceration. That is my thing that I teach about wrongful incarceration. So we're gonna listen to that while.
Did I try to stop the actual culprits to leave them alone? I also called 911.
We're drawing 1250 podcast.
Michelle A was shot and killed.
Let me rewind that. What did she say just happened?
Are sitting in their car with friends. 18-year-old Tyra Patterson and her friend Becky are also in the parking lot. A small group approaches the car and tries to rob the teens. Holly calls out for help.
Not only did I try to stop the actual culprits
So she's actually being robbed, and then she goes to, oh my goodness. Yo.
alone, I also called 911 after Michelle A was shot and killed.
Tyra is taken in for questioning. While there, she says police coerce her into confessing to the robbery. Portions of her interrogation are taped.
I don't know who, I still don't know which one I found.
Lashana Keeney pleads guilty to Michelle's murder. And even though Tyra says she doesn't know Lashana, police say Tyra is her accomplice.
I'm in the Homicide Investigations Office.
I told you they will make the pieces fit. It doesn't matter. They're not. See, I'm sorry, guys. Y'all have the misconception that they are looking for the truth. Verdict means truth. There is only one truth. They're not looking for that. They are looking for the conviction, which is very different from looking for the truth, for the verdict. There's only one, right? So when you're looking for the verdict, the truth, you're going to play out things differently than if you're just looking for the conviction. And that is what they're doing. They're looking for the conviction, which doesn't give the victim any justice. But it's done in the name of the victim and in the name of keeping you safe. Do you see how it doesn't keep you safe if you're only after the conviction rather than the actual truth, verdict?
Tyra,
Under Ohio law, accomplices to murder can get the same punishment as those who pull the trigger. So Tyra.
In Florida too, felony murder rule. Many people are in prison for life in Florida because that means if you give somebody a ride and they do something, you have no clue they're going to do it, and they do it, and you are just with them, you get charged with the same thing, even though they're the one that did it. And most times they're going to work against you and say, oh, you did it all on your own. They're going to get some type of deal, and you will be the one going down for something you didn't do. That's why my mama always used to tell me, and I used to think my mother was the biggest worry ward. I really did. I really thought she was. She came from Chicago, right? West Side Chicago. We moved to Florida, rural Florida, where nothing happened. I didn't even know that ism existed. It wasn't until I became of age that I realized that the ism, how deep the ism really runs, right? And I think they're igniting it and teaching it more because it's like it's getting more and more and more prevalent when it was really like unalive in itself, really. You got to keep it alive, right? So she would always like, oh, you can't ride with the little light, the light in the car. She was like, cut that off. Someone might power in the car because you're BLK. And I'm like, Mom, why would somebody do that? Why would somebody do that? And she was right. She wouldn't let me just go anywhere. She was like, you don't even have to be doing nothing wrong, Keita. The people with you could be doing something and you'll be in jail for life. I told y'all, my mother seen it. She always told me she seen me. She envisioned me like what is it like when you have is it a premonition that I was a getaway driver? And she always felt like I was going to be in jail. Like when I was a little kid, a little teenager, she always said she had that feeling that I was going to go down and be in jail. And she said, it don't even feel like it's something you would do. It's just you'll be so naive and be with somebody. But that feeling that she had, you know how you have dreams and dreams aren't quite straight? Her vision was true, but it was the person connected to me. And it's almost like he's me because, that's my heart, right? So she's seeing it through that way, but it happens all the time. So this girl is just with her for 18. God, dog it. Your life just began. And it's end. It ends when it begins. Gosh.
Charged with aggravated robbery and aggravated murder.
I wanted to get on stand, and my friend Becky wanted to get on stand, and they told me that.
And they do not want you to defend yourself, allegedly. They will always try to gear you away from taking a stand, because when you're innocent, you definitely want to take it to trial, right? Because you think that it's just, and you think you're going to get a fair shot, and you know that you didn't do it, so you're willing to take your chances, and you think the jury is going to see that you're innocent as soon as you're able to explain it all, right? That ain't how trial goes. But let's
I talked to
trial,
and,
to me, allegedly is no more than a stage play.
the white jurors would eat me alive.
Tyra's 911 call is never entered into evidence, and
And then they try to structure your jury to be an all whitey jury. You may get one, I doubt you'll get two, but you might get one. Like Marcello had one BLK man, not even his age range. He was an older BLK man. So he's really not, it's not a jury of your peers. But if that one BLK person speaks up and tries to defend, be like, no, I have the BLK experience and this has happened to me. That's why they try to strike them off the jury. But this has happened to me, or I have a loved one where this happened. So just because you're looking at it through this way, because it's implicit bias. We all have implicit bias. It's the way you think, because you're looking at a situation not through the vantage point of actually going through it. You're looking at others and judging. So you think, just like implicit bias says that, BLK men are criminals. That's implicit bias. You were kind of taught that. You don't really know that. You're drilled those statistics allegedly daily. You're never told the statistics about other demographics. You're only told the statistic about the BLK men. So when you come to trial, that's going to be implicitly, whether you're actively trying to be honest or biased, it comes up because that is what you were taught. It's implicit. You don't know it's there.
Confession is played for the jury.
There was no defense. All that I heard was what the prosecution had to say.
A 12-person jury finds Tyra guilty, and she...
Oh, the interruption. I knew it. What time is it? You must have sped home. You sped home?
I went to speed limit.
Yeah, I probably didn't. Give me about 10 minutes.
Yeah, cause, she keep asking when you coming, when you coming. She want me to hurry up and stuff.
All right, 10 minutes.
To 43 years to life
Wow.
in prison.
But do you see her sentence 43 years, but it's for an unaliving. Even though she is being wrongfully convicted, it is 43 years because a person is gone. Can somebody tell me why my husband got 40 years, for an alleged robbery of $60, which is, y'all know, is 60, 80, because they originally wrote 80. And once they searched Marcello and seen that, oh, hey, he don't have 80 like you wrote in your sworn affidavit. He only has 60 on him, which was his own money that he had just cashed from his check. So the good upstanding officer gave back their their sworn affidavits and said, hey, cross out 60 and write in cross out 80 and write in 60 so that the money can align. And then when it got to court, the judge said, we can't charge him with robbery. The money ain't the same. But yet they still charge him. Made it stick. But for an alleged robbery of $80, they gave him 40 years. And she's sentenced, so he's sentenced wrongfully to 40 years for an alleged robbery with the weapon that you never found, never pound, no one hurt, no one injured, no nothing, no blood, no nothing. But she gets 43 years for an unaliving. That's not fair and equal justice, but that you will see those inconsistencies all across the board within this system. So though she was being wrongfully incarcerated, wrongfully convicted, they still sentenced her according to what you would be sentenced for murder. You know what I'm saying? So they wrongfully convicted her, but sentenced her correctly against if it were a rightful conviction. It's very confusing. But in Marcello's case, they wrongfully convicted him and then excessively sentenced him because wrongful conviction of what Marcello was accused of was only 10 years. 10 years. If he did it, it was only 10 years. If he didn't do it, it was still only supposed to be 10 years. This wrongful conviction should have been behind us over a decade and so ago, a decade and a half. But yet it's still lingering on because of the excessive sentence. So it's a double blow. It's hard to explain the ins and out, and not sure if you're even listening. So let me stop. We gotta get up out of here.
While behind bars, Tyra, who is a middle school dropout, learns to read and write. She earns her GED and engineering license and becomes
an education, not lock them up and throw away the key, not the mass incarceration. Education is what's going to make your community more safer. It's what's going to benefit you. These wrongful convictions don't benefit you, allegedly. It doesn't. It benefits the business, allegedly, not you.
legal.
I started writing letters. After I gained my education, I was able to formulate letters and I started to send them.
And you reach out to Project Reach the World, had a letter with every single picture that I drew. You're gonna reach out for anybody that could possibly, because there's nobody to help. There's no organizations that really do that type of thing. You can take your shot at Innocence Project, but that's like winning the lottery. That's like going to buy a lottery ticket and hoping that you win. So there's no places that really do that. So you're going to be reaching out to anybody, and half of them are not going to believe you, not going to listen to you, but you just keep just reaching. I know it got to be one person that can actually help me, that cares. There's many that can help you, but they don't have the heart, and they won't listen. They won't give you an ear, but not for even 10 seconds. Once they hear you're BLK, you're convicted of, sorry, I feel bad for you, but just stop committing crimes.
Different places until finally somebody heard me.
David Singleton from the Ohio Justice and Policy
I
Center
wish
takes
somebody would
Tyra's
hear
case.
me.
He and his team start a movement.
But you know what? At this point, it really don't even matter. We're more than halfway through this wrongful conviction. I no longer have the heart to keep begging. I have been groveling for decades, and I don't want to keep begging. So, I mean, I wish y'all could have helped me a long time ago, and it would have been nice so my husband could have watched his daughter grow up. But at this point, we can see the end of this dark tunnel now. But by all means, if somebody is willing to help, I'm not going to refuse you, girl.
Humanize her story.
More than 1/4 of prisoners exonerated by DNA evidence have been shown to have.
And it's crazy how DNA didn't exist back then. So when they were just throwing people away, they thought it would never come back. There will never be a way for you to prove it. And then boom, comes out DNA, a way to prove it. And then to backtrack on all their sloppy work they did all these probably centuries.
to confess to crimes they did not commit.
Mm-hmm.
I should know. I am Yusuf Salam, one of the Central Park Five, and I am Tyra.
Now the exonerated five.
I'm Hill Harper. I'm an author, an actor, and I am Tyra Patterson.
I'm Tyra Patterson too. You are too.
And I'm Tyra Patterson.
Yeah.
Then, a staggering change to her case. The victim's sister, Holly, who was in the car during the murder, comes forward and stands with Tyra.
It took 21 years, but she finally did it. And her coming forward meant everything to
They
me.
probably made her, say that.
In
it was her.
2016, Holly writes a letter to the Ohio governor telling him Tyra is in prison for crimes she did not commit.
A lot of people ask me, are you angry that the victim took so long? I said, absolutely not. I said, she lost something dear to her heart. I lost my freedom.
They're
She lost her
usually
sister.
forced to.
In 2017, after 23 years in prison, Tyra is granted parole. She is released from prison on Christmas Day.
Oh, so she wasn't exonerated of her wrongful incarceration. They just granted her parole. Which, by the way, Florida has no parole. They decided we don't need that. After all the bogus cases, excessive time, this is why the aging population in Florida is now costing us dearly. Our tax dollars allegedly. And it's being exhausted in people that are feeble now, that couldn't commit a crime allegedly if they wanted to, right? It's no resources, it's no space to lock up those that really are committing crimes because you're utilizing it somewhere else. Marcello is a bed filler of a person that actually did something, could be off the streets, but he's taking their spot with those resources. But yet you still want to, you want to still uphold it because you want it to keep you safe, but it's not keeping, I'm telling you, it's not keeping you safe. It's doing exactly the opposite of what you're wanting, allegedly. But look at this. She was in the snow. That is
2017,
crazy.
after 23 years in prison, Tyra is granted parole. She is released from prison on Christmas Day.
Only imagine. And for a while, I really let go of that imagination of that day when I go pick up Marcello, but it's starting to come back to my remembrance, and I'm starting to actually believe again in that one day and imagining that day. For a while, I had to stop myself from even thinking of that day.
Tyra, thank you for
You
joining
know how
DBL.
hard it was to watch every other prison wife I knew husband come home but mine. Decades ago. It hasn't been easy. Just like I seen a post today, it's church life. He was saying many times, he gave the example of Joseph, and then also the boys in the lion den, basically, the fiery furnace, that it is not that you won't get thrown into it, you won't be wrongfully incarcerated, you won't be, but it is that God is in there with you and he gets you through being in that fiery furnace or that wrongful conviction like Joseph was. To get through, I could have never imagined getting through 40 years. I promise you I couldn't have imagined that. But we're on the cusp of it being behind us. And just like her, when it is behind us, my fight for this is not going to stop. Just because Marcello is free. You know how many more? That's why his name is called one of many. There's so many more. So many more. And I'm going to continue to fight for those.
Sharing your story. So you are currently on parole and you are trying to clear your name. Tell me this, what would an exoneration mean to you?
I want my name back. I want my name back. I want my rights back. I want to be able to travel the country and speak to the juveniles that I speak to. But every time I go to a university, organizations, I have to go and stop to the police station to get their permission to be in their state. and I'm doing something really constructive with my time. Like having my name back will mean everything to me. It will mean everything
that too, even though Marcello is gonna come home, you know, by grace of God, from his wrongful conviction, if he is not exonerated, it's gonna be hard as jail for him once he does come home. He has that jacket. He has a jacket he has to wear that is not his own.
family. It will mean everything to our community.
Well, let's talk about Holly Lay, because she came forward when you were still in prison and shared her story. So
discovered that.
how did she?
So it comes to where you get exhausted really quickly with your rights, right? And then it becomes that there's nothing that can exonerate you but newly discovered evidence. That is it. That is it. And if it never comes forward, and many times it's even stuff that you find out later, but they say, no, it's not newly discovered because that's something that they should have known back then. Newly discovered is something completely different. So every exit way you find, they quickly find a way to block it. Like when I used to do martial arts, they found a way to block it, right? And then they boom, they knock it out. Nope, that's a no-go.
Her story, what did she say?
Holly Lay is most definitely the hero in this because she did not have to come forward. But she called up my attorney and said, I have something
But
that I would like to share.
she probably wants true justice for her loved one. She knows it has to live with the fact that the person that deleted her sister is not behind bars.
But I want you to meet me at my sister's grave on my sister's birthday. So he went there. She cries and she tells my attorney how much she misses her sister and that she wishes that she was here. And the conversation went on for hours. And finally, she said, everything that you all are saying about Tyra, I was there. She did not commit these crimes and she tried to help. I was so scared to go against my family.
And do you see how easy it is to get caught up in it? It can happen to you. I know you give me the deaf ear and the blind eye, but it could be you.
She was like, however, this is eating me alive. I know what happened that night. I called Tyra over to the car and I want to help free her.
Wow. Well, because of active litigation, you actually haven't been able to meet with Holly face to face. But when you are allowed to meet, what will you say to her?
I just want to hug her because she has struggled so much. Like, I want to hug her and I want to thank her. I wish I could do so much more for her, and I will.
All right, guys, so I gotta wrap this up. I will talk to y'all later. Maybe I have a little bit more energy, like I said, once I start. It will somehow, because I started, maybe I'll have the energy to finish. All right, it's your girl Cadillac.